The Athene Real Talk Podcast explores controversial ideas to stimulate debate and active thinking. These ideas do not always reflect Athene's personal views. Welcome to the Athene Real Talk Podcast.
He has been called the best gamer in the world, hands down.
World-famous gamer and philanthropist Athene.
Gaming for Good, it's called, has raised more than $20 million.
Using his notoriety to raise money for charity.
On activism, science, culture, and self-development.
Proud to have him in the studio today. I would not want to take you on in a video game.
I think people should pick up critical thinking. But of course you guys don't value it so much, so why would you do it? What is your goal of listening to this real talk? What's your true goal? Like honestly, I would like to hear, why are you guys even listening to me? Because at this point, if you guys don't do something with your life, you're fucking dumb. After all these years, you're still listening. You should feel fucking bad watching me after all these years and not putting anything into practice. I actually wonder, why do you guys still listen to me? A lot of people here have been listening to me for years. What the fuck is up with you? I don't get it. How do you justify it? Start thinking for yourself, for fuck's sake. Listen to the podcast and apply this shit. Is that how you justify your procrastination? Wasting your fucking time? I'm repeating the same shit over and over and over and over again. Get your ass together. Athene says, I just believe in your opinions. I don't actually read up on this, but I believe you, Athene. No, you should not do that. You should not just listen to me and just believe me. Fuck that shit. You gotta think about it. You gotta critical think about it, because I guarantee you don't even understand what I'm talking about. Most of you guys don't even understand what I'm talking about. You think you value my opinion. No, it's not. You have a comfort core value, or you just look up to me because I'm your idol, because I'm good at games or whatever, and you just absorb it. No, you shouldn't do that. I'm telling you to think for yourself. Michelson says, I will try my best to think logically and try to put it into practice. You don't even have to do it for me. You don't have to go no, okay, Athene, I'm going to think logic. Fuck that shit. You got to value logic and understand that it will achieve you anything. Guys, you guys got to really be honest to yourself and go through the entire procedure. You guys have all these layers. You got to understand why you behave the way you behave. You got to go to the bottom of it. You got to really understand what you are. And the moment you do that, by looking at all the decisions you make, you might think but I do everything for safety. Or I do everything because I want to fit in. But why would I fit in? Because I feel insecure. Why do I feel insecure? Because I do not believe in myself. Yeah, obviously I don't believe in myself because I haven't thought about these things. I just don't know that I can come with the answers. But then thinking about these things allow me to put the first step in starting to believe in myself. Low self-esteem can be fixed so easily if you start thinking for yourself. But you have to value logic. You have to hug logic. You have to kiss logic. You have to embrace logic. Logic is what will give you the most warmth, the most success, the most everything. Making sense, man. And it's not like you're traveling completely blindly. You got the real talks. You know how much knowledge is in the real talks. You guys cannot grasp the insights that I have given on these podcasts. You guys cannot grasp it. The moment you start grasping it, you really go holy fuck. He keeps repeating it. I see it now. I see it. I was always valuing safety. Now I understand. I was doing it. Yeah, but logic is much better. It's a paradigm shift. It can cause a catharsis. You understand that? If you fully, truly understand it and realize it, it can go really quick. Sherishian says, I think you can't say school doesn't matter. I'm not saying school doesn't matter. I'm saying you gotta think about it yourself. If you go to university and you really go but this doesn't make any fucking sense. Why do I have to learn all this bullshit? You gotta wonder, why are you going to school? If you want to make money, you gotta wonder, why do you want to make money? If you want to sit on your lazy ass, you gotta wonder, why do you want to sit on your lazy ass? You gotta understand that sooner or later, experience or reality will catch up on your lifestyle. Sooner or later, it will happen. If you smoke, the chance of you dying will catch up with you. You cannot deny reality. It's better to go about things instead of trial and error, to just use your rationality, your reasoning, and overcome all this fucking suffering for nothing. For nothing. We keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again as a society. Look at Trump. Or all this fucking extreme right-wing bullshit. We keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again because we are going through life using experience as our compass. We don't have to go through suffering and repeating historical mistakes or your own mistakes. You can use reason if you value it. And you can. If you value logic, your reward center will automatically be all the time active because you will only do things you feel deem logical. When you experience dissonance, when you're kicked out of the now, it's because you have inner conflict, and that's because your self-image is not in line with your true self. That's because there's a discrepancy, and then figuring it out will release the emotion, will sort it out. There is no professional field where university doesn't benefit you. Sorry, Jeet, what the fuck are you saying, man? Poker. I played poker. I made more than 300K. Which university, will benefit me? I learned more by myself than I would learn in any university. It's about a mindset. If you have a mindset to learn, to grow, and to be a critical thinker, you don't need that shit to succeed. You succeed more than anyone else. I'm not saying that university is shit. University has stuff that can teach you, but the problem is it's an outdated system. I learn more reading Google and Wikipedia and Reddit than I learn from going to the university. If I want to learn quantum mechanics, I can do it. There's actually courses online. Why would I go to the university and go to an entire period for a paper? Okay, I understand it. Maybe if you want to be a surgeon or a lawyer, you need it. I understand that. Why would you be a lawyer? To make money? There's more effective ways of making money. Look at me. Why would you do that? So you can fit with the idea of your parents? Why would you do that? Why would you make the choices you make? That's what it's about. It's about thinking yourself. It's really questioning why you do what you do. If you go and you want to play games, instead of trying to play games, you just wonder, why do I want to play games? You just start questioning your behavior. And honestly, maybe you can't now. Maybe you're too fucking stupid and dumb to do it now. But I can tell you, man, if reality knocks on your door and you have to pay on your own bills, you're gonna start to be forced to think about it. You're gonna be forced to think about it either way, sooner or later. Why not start now? It will fulfill you so much more. If you adopt opinions from your environment and you haven't thought about it, since you're ignorant about it, you will be the biggest offender. There's actually scientific studies. You copy opinions you have no clue about, and since you're unknown and insecure, you become a bigger defender. Same with religion. The stronger you come here and push an opinion, the more insecure you are about it. It's so fascinating. It's like a vicious circle of ignorance. Ramakwan says, Athene, do you think it's possible your true self is not selfless? Let me tell you something. Of course it is possible. I can't say for sure, but it's very unlikely. And I tell you, the biggest dissonance you experience is because what you value on a fundamental level is not in line with what you are. That's it. And that's why you're in the chat. And that's why you experience dissonance. Because you know it. It doesn't add up. And it's because what you value is not logic. It's that simple. You will always be a prisoner of your bullshit core value. And the more you know, the more it's gonna burn. I'm really sorry to tell you that. The only thing you can do is amputate that part of the brain. Never watch the Real Talk anymore. Not even think about it. Or you're gonna just experience suffering every time. Dissonance, because your true self wants to make sense and you know you're not making sense. You know it. You just know it. And you try to really hard to fit it together, but it doesn't work because you know you're full of shit. You know you're just comfy and you want your comfort, but it's not making you feel comfortable. Why is that? Because you don't value logic. And logic is so much more powerful and so much more comfy and everything than any value you have. And the moment you realize that, you start acting using logic. And you don't backwards rationalize anything to make it fit in your warped world. You can't argue with logic because you use logic to argue. So fucking funny. You can't argue with logic. You just cannot, because you need logic to argue. Like, that's what arguing is. It's using logical argument. Without logic, you can't even argue. Mike Sen says, I know I don't make sense. Let me tell you, on a core level, you want to make sense. And even if you don't make sense, there is a reason for it. And figuring out that allows you to undo it. Like everybody here automatically is built on logical patterns, whether you like it or not. It's just ignorance. You just have flawed beliefs. That's it. You can overcome that. Sirenik says, Athene, if music is my passion, should I put all my time and effort on it? Or is it a waste of time? Serious question. Sirenix, your passion should be logic. It shouldn't be music. You want music your passion? Sure, go with it. You're gonna get erect in your ass and you're gonna, with experience, realize that music is not really something that you can really build your life upon. And you will let it go. I mean, like, the entire music industry is also changing completely. Of course, if you can use music in a logical context, because you're really good at it and you can achieve and inspire people, sure, but it should be a mean, not a goal. Logic should be what you're emotionally attached to, making sense. You can believe music. Maybe you want to be a singer and you sing like a fucking dog and people around you don't want to confront you. Reality check. You suck at singing. You don't sing. It's important to use logic. It allows you to cope so much more. It's just an image. It's a wrong self-image. Your self-image is like, I want to be a musician or I want to be a singer. You fix that self-image and you align it with what you are. It's that simple. Oh, I'm not a singer. I don't want to sing anymore. Fixed. How beautiful is that? Why do you want to be a musician or a singer or whatever? There's a reason for it. Maybe because music got you out of really bad times. Why value that? Why did you have these bad times? Maybe because you had low self-esteem, because you were insecure. You go to the core and you figure out why you are the way you are. And you're honest to yourself. And I'm telling you, if you do so, if you take logic, it will help you to overcome all this bullshit. Value logic. Sidenik says, Athene, but if I make a living with music, shouldn't I go with that? But why do you want to make a living? Why do you want to make money? You gotta always question yourself, oh, because I have to live. So basically, if you have to live and you need money, do you make money in a very efficient way? There's way more efficient ways of making money than music. You gotta always question it. Okay, so now you have enough money. So now you can wonder like, okay, I have enough money, I can make my own living, everything is fine. Now I want to do music. Why do you want to do music? It's because it's my passion. Why is it your passion? You gotta always critically think. There's a lot more bigger issues in the world. Why the fuck be busy playing music if you can save lives? It makes absolutely no sense. The funny thing is, if you have to pay your bills, you can't play guitar either. Maybe if you're a musician or whatever, but I'm just saying, like, most of the time, you can't. So you gotta think about it, you gotta be logical. It's the same with these guys that say like, Athene, I wanna be a pro gamer, I wanna be a pro gamer. Like 99.999% of people saying I wanna be a pro gamer, you guys ain't gonna become a pro gamer. Pro gaming is also shit. You have this ID with these videos, this marketing, giving you the identity of being a pro gamer. Yeah, I want to be a pro gamer. You can make a lot of more money and you have much better odds doing other shit. So if you believe you want to be a pro gamer, you are already a fucking retard to begin with. That's not how you go about things. You use logic. You don't chase dreams that will make you feel suffering. Why would you do that? Why would you choose to follow a path that you know is 1 in a million chance is going to work out? You're better off playing the lottery. You pay $10 and you don't waste your life. You get a shot, spend your money. Like these $10, you spent them on lottery. If you win the lottery, you got your cash. If you don't, you just say like, I didn't waste my life for 5 years playing League or WoW or whatever the fuck. What you chase is what you know that can logically have the best odds. You chase your dreams. I'm not gonna go outside, try to fly from the building. If I go upstairs, right, and I start flapping and then I jump off the building and you guys read tomorrow in the paper that I died because I tried to fly, you guys would just lol, right? Well, you know how many people, like, when you go and you want to become a pro gamer, it's very similar. Because I might have jumped and survived, I probably have better chances of just jumping with my hands like this and have no issues than you becoming a pro gamer. And that's the thing, if you start thinking these things, you start realizing, like, wait a minute, I'm lying to myself. My life is a lie. And that's the first step, like accepting that your life is a fucking lie. And you have never really thought about these things, really allows you to, overcome these things and grow and achieve real greatness. Pankakan says, how do I value logic? It's what you value on a fundamental level. You have to really reflect on these things and think and go and analyze why you do what you do. You got to be really honest, write it down and understand why you do what you do. And you will see like, the reason why I do all these things is because I really value safety, for example, or because I value friends or family. And you start realizing like, but wait a minute, if I value logic, I can achieve anything and even more than what I value right now. I can achieve better friends with valuing logic. I can achieve more money. The reason why comfort is one of your biggest core values is because I would think, and I'm not sure, of course, I didn't really debunk all the core values, but the thing is like comfort is not really your core value, by the way. What I mean with that is like comfort is your core value, but you're not living the most comfortable life by having comfort being your core value. And when you truly understand that, you can actually make the bridge on basically applying and valuing making sense or logic instead. And you might wonder, okay, like you have to wonder when it comes down to your comfort, do you truly feel comfortable with valuing comfort so much? It's same with people that value happiness. They value happiness, yet they're not so happy. So obviously valuing happiness is not what makes you more happy. if you value comfort and it goes against your comfort, you can start wondering and say like, wait a minute, maybe comfort is not really the best thing to value because it goes against itself. It's actually flawed to have as a core value. And why do you feel comfort? Is because when you grow up, you experience not so much dissonance, your parents are taking care of you, you feel like in that bubble, and the danger of it is only when you get actually confronted with discomfort and a lot of dissonance that you are actually willing to get out of this comfort bubble, not because you want to, but because you're forced. And that's when you start rewiring yourself. Instead of having comfort as a core value, you get something else. So basically, the reason why you have comfort as a core value is because your parents took too good care of you. You're spoiled. I would say people that have comfort as a core value are spoiled little pricks or little brats. It's like these little birds in the nest and the mother bird is taking care of them all the time and they just never even learn how to fly themselves. And then when you're 18, 19, 20, you followed everything that, people told you to do so you can stay in that little comfort bubble, like you get kicked out and then you start getting actually a reality check, confronted with reality, and then you start wondering like, but wait, all this comfort, I gotta work, I gotta take my responsibility. Like I can't just sit on my lazy ass, fuck this shit, what am I supposed to do? I gotta work for my food and shit. And that's when shit hits the fan. And when you realize, you go through an identity crisis and you realize like comfort is not what brings me the most comfort. Being a comfort creature, some people can still keep it, If reality doesn't hit you hard enough, you can literally still make it work. You do a 9-to-5 job and you really try hard to stay in that comfort bubble and be that comfort creature. But at the same time, as you start maybe having a family and children and whatever, that comfort goes away and gets replaced with other things that are more important. So yeah, the reason why you have it is because you're a spoiled little brat and you don't have a lot of life experience. You can't put life into context, and that's why you need a reality check to wake up. And that's why I'm giving so much dissonance, because the reality check is basically inner conflict. If you live in heaven and you grow up, you won't think that there is anything wrong with your view, right? Everything goes smooth, everything goes good. Like just go through life with all this bullshit in your head and not question it at all. You just go about it. You never, have conflicting ideas. But it's only with other religions coming in and science and all that stuff that more dissonance starts coming, and you start realizing, wait, I'm just believing in a shitty fairy tale, like this is created. This is not real. This is just an illusion. This is imaginary. This is just a self-image I have about myself that is actually flawed. Same with comfort. If you go through life and you can be comfortable, you will just steer towards it because of the path of least resistance. You as a human want to be quite efficient when it comes down to energy and how you go about life. So if you can just be in a comfy life without having to worry too much, then you just do that. But then you have these reality checks that wake you up. And when you then listen to me, or you look up to someone, or you look up to me, you see my success, you want the girl. You can't just sit on your lazy ass and get a girl. It doesn't work like that. You have to go outside that comfort bubble and you have to start going against it. And the more and more you realize that the comfort as a core value actually goes against your comfort, against your ability to feel fulfilled, you just let it go and you replace it with something else. There's two ways to go through it. Either to the reality check of reality, where you experience a lot of inner conflict and you do it, or you can get through it by thinking critically for yourself. So there's two ways of going about it. And by doing so, you align your self-image with your true self, and you become more and more comfortable. Your duality goes away. So back to the good news for you guys. For all the losers in the chat, the good news is my real talk is finally working for you. And you might wonder, what do you mean the real talk is working for me? It's not working for me. It's not working for you maybe specifically, but it is happening. So I'm going to just show you guys something here. So this is a thread on Reddit, and this guy's Illusion Exe is his name, and basically what he does is, after today's talk, I sat my ass down and meditated and tried to figure out my core value once and for all, and I'm pretty sure it's validation, because all my actions seems to drive me towards wanting to be loved, appreciated. My thought process went something like this, and this is the first step. Listen what he says. Guys, this is something all of you should fucking do. You want to get your life together? Man, this is what you gotta do. You gotta be fucking honest to yourself, really honest as fuck, and write down why you do what you do. Why do you do it? Even when you ask a question in the chat, why do you do it? Why do you behave? Why do you make the decisions you make? Question it, critically think. So look at what he says. Why do I want to make money? Because I want to be seen as successful so that I get hot girls, and I can't get hot girls while being poor and living at home. So I want to make enough money to get my own place. Why do I want a hot girlfriend? Because the better looking she is, the more validation I will get from my friends and people. Why can't I have a hot girlfriend living at home? No hot girl would want to come upstairs to my boy room because it shows how unsuccessful and how little I care for life success, which no woman would find attractive. Why do I want a girlfriend? Because I'm lonely. Why am I lonely? Because I have no real friends and no one that appreciates me. Why do I have the need to feel appreciated? Because it feels good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm stuck at that. I will put in more thought to it, but at the same time, I feel like it's not my core value because I don't really try to make a lot of money and I don't try to walk outside and hit on girls, but I do brag and lie. Why do I brag? Because I have the need to feel appreciated and better than people around me. Why do I lie? Because I can't always be the best without lying. Why do I not try to become the best? Because it's too much work and I can't understand the definition of being the best. Why do I want to be the best? I want to be appreciated. See, I'm stuck. I feel like Athene talks mumbo jumbo, but I can't really argue against him, but I also don't trust him 100%. It doesn't matter so much what he says here. I'm not sure if I'm depressed now, so many thoughts in my head. Anyway, what do you guys think? Validation my core value, or validation is my core value? How do I change it? I'm telling you guys, this is the first step, what he did there. He was honest to himself, he wrote it down, and he really admits things people wouldn't admit to themselves. They lie and they want to brag because they feel worthless. It's hard to admit that. So being able to admit that really unleashes all these emotions. And of course he feels quite sad about it. He feels almost depressed. But it's not because he feels depressed. It's because on a subconscious level he starts realizing it doesn't add up. And the good thing about doing so is by doing so you start understanding more and more what you are. You're more and more honest. And at that point when you start realizing, and I'm going to go further, and I even go about it like in the thread, I talk about it even underneath it. I say like I don't respond so much, but basically the reason why he wants to be appreciated is because he doesn't get appreciation from himself. The reason why he doesn't get appreciation from himself is because he thinks he's worthless. He doesn't think he is, valuable enough. And why does he need appreciation and value from others if he can get it from himself? Because he thinks he cannot. But you can. You only have to value life and the physical world in order to be, satisfied. You don't need to value what other people think about you. And the way you achieve that is by thinking for yourself, thinking critically, thinking logically, realizing like, wait a minute, there is no reason for me to be bad. Like, it doesn't make any sense that I feel bad. Depending from person to person, of course, you can say like, oh yeah, the environment is part of what I am, understanding it. Like here, it goes really hard for me because this is a case-by-case situation. Why you feel the way you feel. Why do you feel worthless? Is it because your parents didn't give you enough love or whatever? By understanding where it all started and how it escalated to who you are now, you can go back to the core and start course correcting it, and it can really give you a very big relief. And if you then understand that logic or making sense can provide all these things, you can just replace your core value of validation to making sense instead. Of course, it's not that easy, but it's just good to know that you can trust making sense. You can trust logic. You know everything has an answer. You just have to figure it out. And by critical thinking, really put time and really write everything down. You can get rid of your identity. You can get rid of your flaws, and you can find answers using logic that will make you more fulfilled, more satisfied, more everything. And basically, what I just want to say is like, he's a validation-seeking person that I would say up front, like, what can I do? I can't help these people. If you guys all the time validation seeking, I don't know what to do with you guys. But with critical thinking, it seems that it's actually shaking people up and making people realize how to overcome it. And that's a really big first step. So really critical think, always wonder, ask yourself the questions, why are you doing what you're doing? Figuring out, go to the core. And I'm gonna go to another, like I think most people should really be doing that. You guys can also go to making sense or whatever. You should do it for yourself. You shouldn't do it to go and talk about your problems or whatever so people can give you some pity or whatever. You gotta think about it yourself because you want to figure it out. So even if you go and you make a thread on the Reddit post, you gotta wonder, why are you doing that? Are you doing that to show off? Are you doing that because you want advice? You gotta figure out why you're doing it. If it's just to show off, you can wonder, why do you want to show off? If it is because you want advice, then,
Subscribe to youtube.com/AtheneWins. Watch the live stream at twitch.tv/AtheneLive and follow The Real Athene on Snapchat.